Here we are at part 3 of our uh, WeVideo commercial, and we have added enough images and videos to get to our required length, which for this particular one happens to be 30 seconds, but it depends again on what your particular rubric says. So I've got these, and I have adjusted my music so it's lower while I'm speaking on my green screen, and then I have these additional images, and I've adjusted them, and I've decided that it's going to be about a second each one. Some of them are images and some of them are videos that I have found from within the stock video within WeVideo. Now I'm going to add 2 additional features. One of them is going to be transitions. Now, a caveat about transitions is depending on which transition you choose, really they become useful sometimes, and sometimes the effect you want is a fast transition. So in other words, a quick cut. So from, like, for example, this image to that image, it's a nice quick cut. I'm actually okay with that. One that I think is a little bit weird is from my green screen over here to where videos start. So I'm going to go in, and I actually really like the dip to black. And I find this one, if I zoom in, I can click it, drag it, and put it right in between the 2 sections that I'm trying to transition. Now, be aware that this sometimes will eat up some of your videos. So for example, this video or a particular image was showing for a second and a half. And because this dip to black took an entire second, it really eats up a lot of that time. I'm going to actually make it so that this dip to black is even faster. I'm going to do a 0.5, right? And I'm going to make it so that all of them are that way. And you can see it shortens it up. And now, instead of just suddenly transitioning to the next picture, it does it in and out. And you can experiment with some of these. A lot of them are very graphic, and they add kind of a really cool effect, but it might be a little bit much for what you're looking for with your particular video. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to add some transitions in between these and see what kind of effect it looks like. And I've added a crossfade, and I've actually gone on to each of these transitions. I clicked on them, and I lowered down the timing because I'm going for a faster pace. And continue to kind of go through here and see how they look. You can see I've got some solids and some videos, some solid pictures and some videos, and how it matches up. The next thing I want to do also is I want to add some text overlay. Now, I don't need to add this to every single one, but this is where you can add captions. And I like if you click on captions, see all. Some of these are animated. A lot of them will just sort of put themselves on top of the image. So let's say, for example, I want to use one that's a little bit more exciting. So let's go through here and let's do some text, and well, let's just try this one here. Let's go ahead and put this regular one in. And what you do is you drag it to this top layer. Again, just like your green screen, it's going to overlay it. I'll put it right here. Shrink it down because I want it to only happen during the beach. And if you're having a hard time lining this up, zoom in. It makes it a little bit easier to. And then just like your green screen, if you double click on it, it brings you into some of your settings. Like I say, beautiful beaches. And if you happen to know like the exact name of the beach or of the area that you are highlighting, and that's fine too. I'm going to go ahead and increase the font size and change it to a different font, maybe a different color. Let's do like a light color. Let's make the beach. There we go. Something along those lines, right? And then you can also adjust with the animation and positioning and things like that. That just adds kind of a cool feature within here, right? So my starting position, my ending position. Maybe I want my starting position to be right here. I want my ending position to be right here. Let's see what that ends up looking like. I click start. And it's maybe a little bit hard to see. So just sort of experimenting with this. You can kind of see how this works, right? And click done, and now I've got this. So continue to experiment with some of your captions as well. So adding transitions, adding captions really adds some cool features to your video as well. Now, let's say that we are done. I'm all the way down here. I've got 29 seconds. I may need to add an additional one in here to fill out my 30 seconds. But the final text I want to add is my credits, right? So if I click on text and go back here, underneath special, you'll see there's one here called credits. If I click see all, it's kind of obvious here. I can drag that one down and I'm going to put it in track one here at the beginning. And if I double click it, it's got some placeholders here. I'm going to go ahead and delete all this. And I'm just going to say, you know what? I'm going to say this was directed by Mr. Kelsey. And I'm going to delete that. See if I've got an actor in there. Maybe we've got some additional people that were in your video along with you. You want to give some credit. I'm going to delete some of these others. I'm going to talk about where I gathered information and images. All right, give them credit. And then maybe I want to do like a special thank you to the country of Dominican Republic or something along those lines. You'll see these messages at the end of a lot of different videos and movies giving credit to the country. So now I've got some information in here and I want to add an animation because just looking at it like this is kind of boring. And just like when I was working with my other captions, I can click on animation and I want this to start way down here and I want it to end way up here. Then it gives it the scrolling effect that I'm looking for. All right, and click play. Awesome. I'm going to actually shorten that down because I only need to see that for just a few seconds. And just like some of my other ones, maybe I want to put an image back behind there. It can be something to do with your country, or it could just be a background that looks cool. Any of those look good. Let's just put that one on there. All right. Gives you a cool, and that's pretty quick. Maybe you want to shorten that down. I wouldn't include the credits as part of your 30 seconds. That's at the end. All right. Now, let's say we are completely done. I'm happy with this. I've got 30 seconds worth of images. I'm going to go ahead and put in my credits and I want it to end right here. Now, what I don't want it to do is continue for another, 10 seconds worth of just a weird background and sound. So I'm going to click here on my background. I'm going to put my playhead where I want it to end. And just like when I was working with my green screen, I'm going to click split, delete that extra. Same thing with my music. I'm going to go ahead and split it and delete this extra. And now if I zoom out and scroll over, there's my entire movie. All right. Now I can continue to adjust music and transitions. And once it's perfect, once it's the way I want it, here's what I recommend. Take your playhead and bring it all the way to the beginning where you can see your title. And there's a reason for this. I'm going to click it right here. I'm going to click on these 3 lines at the top and just save it. And that way, the little thumbnail or preview is more likely to be this view rather than some random view along your video. And when I am done and I'm ready to turn this in, up here in the top right corner, I'm going to click Finish. And you can see right there is one of my thumbnails along with a couple other random ones. And let's go ahead and do this in full HD. It'll be as good as we can get it. And I want that to go to 2 different places. One, it's going to go here to WeVideo. And 2, I want it to go to my Google Drive so I can select that. Now, if you've never done this before, when you click on there, it may ask you to do some authentication, like go into your Google account and log in, but that's fine. And now when I click export, it's going to sit here. It's going to go through its settings. And now I will have a video. This may take up to 10 minutes. It usually emails you when you're done with your school email. It might be blocked, but you can always go back in here to WeVideo and find where this is. All right. So when this is done, you're going to get an ability to share this because remember, there's going to be a copy of it on Google Drive as well. and that's the copy you're going to turn in on Google Classroom. If you're looking for this, we go back to our main WeVideo account, and that should appear now within export. So I actually have it in two different spots. I've got my project that I've been working on. So if I need to go back and edit something, I can go back into this one. That's my edit view. Or my export is my finalized video. Similar to Photoshop, when you export it as a PNG, this is exporting it as an actual video file rather than just a WeVideo working file. You can see mine hasn't appeared yet because it hasn't actually finished itself. But once it has, go ahead and turn that in, and that is the end of your marketing video project.